It's live.
Yeah, baby.
Man, you're a part of something. It's something big. Because Benfica is more than just football. It's more than just soccer.
I'll start this motherfucker off.
Listen, everyone. This is the new channel, Benfica After 90.
O track set.
Na nossa sociedade, só assim a gente tem um futebol melhor, um país melhor. Um abraço a todos, viva o Benfica, viva Portugal!
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining another edition of Benfica After 90. We'll be with you very shortly because my co-host, Mr. Mello on that side there, has just had a technical difficulty and froze up as the intro was starting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop back to the intro. We'll be back in a minute or so. Thank you.
Alright, fuck it, it's live.
Yeah, baby.
Man, you're a part of something. It's something big. Because Benfica is more than just football. It's more than just soccer.
I'll start this motherfucker off.
Listen, everyone. This is the new channel, Benfica After 90.
O track set.
Na nossa sociedade, só assim a gente tem um futebol melhor, um país melhor. Um abraço a todos, viva o Benfica, viva Portugal!
All right, here we go. Let's try this again.
We're back. Am I moving?
Oh,
moving?
man, we got movement. Yo, you're
We
moving
got-
better than Seferovic.
Apa, hey man. Last week I tried, Mario. I tried to.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They're like, you know what? Let's start afresh, clean slate.
Yeah. I tried. I tried to back my player up. You know, he wears
Yeah,
a
it's all good.
Benfica kit. All right, he wears a Benfica kit. I like to give the Benfica guys the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I'm not that kind of that guy who likes to throw his team under the bus or rag on a guy when he's down. But like,
Well, you want everyone to be
hey,
successful,
at the
man. You
same
always want
time-
to be successful for this.
At the same time, like, you got to do your job. I go to work every day and I do my job. You know what I mean? I go to work and I work 8 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I take a break. I get 2 breaks and a lunch by law. But
Yeah.
I work. You know what I mean? And I expect that from the people that work for my favorite team. And Seferovic, man, we'll talk about it. But, yeah, man, he disappointed me a lot today.
Yeah, man. It's a well, you know what? Let's do that. It was a 3-2 result. Let's go into the goal point. Let me get I'll do the starting 11. We'll get our thoughts on the game. Myself, I missed the first 15 minutes or so. I heard it was nothing to really brag about.
Nah,
but-
you didn't miss much. You didn't miss much.
So real quickly, got Odysseus. We had Almeida, Diaz, the surprise inclusion of Jardel, Grimaldo, Pizzi, Gabriel Trapt, once again in the center, Servi, Chiquinho, and the pylon, Seferovic. I think he's gonna get stuck with this pylon for a while until he gets out of whatever rut he's stuck on. But man, you know what? I gotta say before we kick off real quickly, last show we talked about this with Luigi. At the end of the day, to me, it was a Taca game. We got a big game coming up on the weekend. We're gonna kind of cover our thoughts of the Porto game coming up. But I was hoping we'd have some rotation. I wanted some rotation. I know it's risky because at the end of the day, we want to win the Taça. But because the Taça, which me and Mello were talking before we went live, is a weird competition where it's a one-game knockout. except for the semifinal for some stupid reason, you can kind of risk this game and have another opportunity at it next week, right? So I was okay with them taking a risk. I was actually thinking
Yeah, I mean that burned us last year with Sporting.
it did,
Remember,
man.
we lost. Bruno Fernandes came, and those goals that Sporting scored today,
It's what
last
cost us.
year,
Yeah. That's what
it's
ended up
what
happening. You're
fucked
right.
us. Yeah, it's what fucked us. Okay, so I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And Famalicao played a fucking good game today.
Oh,
Honestly, if I was a
they
Famalicao
played to
fan,
win,
I
man.
would hate Gabriel. I would hate Gabriel for the rest of my life because it should have been a draw. Benfica had a lot, and we're gonna get into it for real. Get into it,
Yeah.
but just real quick off the top of my head, watching it just in a snapshot. Famalicao played really good, and not surprising because they're a top 5 team in this league right now. And they deserved. I guess they deserved what they got though. They played away. They got 2 goals. We're gonna see them again in the second leg, but I thought they played very good. And just before we start getting into it, I just want to tip my hat to them because they came to the luge where a lot of people buckle. A lot of people aren't good. The Bragas, the Guimarães, those teams, they buckle in the luge. You know what I mean? And Famalicão, we beat them at the luge. We played them earlier in the season at the luge, and it was a good game. We mopped them eventually. We smacked them up eventually, but it was a good game. And today again, they it has to be said that they pushed Benfica, to their limits, to the last 5 minutes of a match. You know what I mean? So big ups to them.
Yeah, and just to kind of get you kicked off, it was like I put the stats up for everyone to see, and even though it's leaning a bit more towards Benfica, for a team like Famalicão, with it's their first year in the first division, right? Like it's a good year they're having. We got more shots. We got 14 shots, but they got 12. You know what I mean? Like we have 55 possession, 45. Like they weren't that. We're more efficient at passing at 71%, but they're at 67. It wasn't like they weren't like 84 to 81. You know what I mean? Like it was just off by a tiny bit. Like overall, we kind of were just a bit better, and at the end of the day, that bit better is what got us the win. But yeah,
sometimes don't you think it's too much passing, Mario? Just too much. Like I get it. I get the tiki taka, tiki taka, tiki taka, tiki taka. I get it. But sometimes it's too much. And
there was a lot of careless passes today.
I was on the ferry today typing up some notes for the show just so I can remember what I typed. The last thing I did, I remember them. One of them is too many passes. I think sometimes Benfica, watching the game today, and there was moments in the game where plays open up and you have a good outlet pass, a good outlet player goes out and you drop the ball off to them. And Benfica's they're really good at that, but sometimes I just want to see more direct football. You know what I mean? I just want to watch more direct. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, shoot.
And you know what? Yeah, if you don't mind, maybe I'll just jump into it because I think that was like a critical issue right off the get-go. Like if I was to kind of break down the first bit, first of all, the Russ on Jardel, he's beyond his prime. To me right now, it would be as if we had Luizal on the bench as an option. Love the guy, love what he did. At the end of the day, like
he came off at halftime, Mario.
Time's up. He can't. He was non-existent for what I saw. He got substituted, which is again such a rarity for a center. Why are you getting substituted? It's because you're just doing nothing. He probably went to the locker room. He's gassed out. And it goes to the fact that we don't have a backup center back. You know what I mean? Like we really need something else because if I watching today, if Ruben Diaz or Ferro get injured, we gotta use Samatis or Weigel. We gotta basically take an offensive mid and make him a center back. That's the only way we're gonna do it.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think this dictates a lot of today's match. No, you can't rely on Benfica. Not Benfica. You can't rely on Jardel. Benfica is gonna have they're gonna have. I have a bad feeling, and I'll get into it when I get into my thoughts of the game. I don't want to let you keep going, but I think that something's gonna get sacrificed. A tournament will be sacrificed at this rate we're going because we just don't. The defense is. We'll get into it. I want you to go ahead, and I want to.
Yeah, buddy. So let me kind of jump in. So then, outside of that, though, I was looking, like I said, for some rotations. So I got what I wanted. I got Jardel. I actually was pleasantly surprised with Odie. It's a situation where goalkeepers don't need rest. I'm sorry, unless he's nursing an injury, there's no reason why they need rest. They're not running. They could play each game if they want to. And to be honest, between Sevillar and Zobland, neither have impressed. So I was thrilled to see Odie in the lineup. I'm like, whatever. Semifinals are to kind of go to the stage.
Mhm.
And then we kind of advance. I think so. My take on the game from beginning to end, and I'm going to pick on Gabriel and Tarap. I think they both had good games today. I think they did decent. However, the passing was kind of sloppy. At times, they felt out of position, and I think the reason that's been the case is we've had a series of games. I mean, that both Tarap and Gabriel have played on the pitch with a defensive mid of Weigl. And when one comes off, the other one comes on. But that's they're naturally attacking midfielders, right? So they're
Who do
good.
you think's the better pairing?
You know what? I'm liking both. I'm not like when I see Weigl and Tarat, I'm leaning more towards that right now. But at the same time, when I see Weigl and Gabriel, I'm not like I don't feel the drop off is like a major difference. Like, sometimes you got like guys. Oh, this guy's coming in. Like I'm gonna be a dick. Seferovic, take out Vinicius, put in Seferovic. You feel it, you notice it, and you're like, Jesus.
Mhm.
If you have either Gabriel or Tarap or Weigl, it's like I feel like what Tarap brings with his passing, he's a little bit more aggressive. He's more like just going for the jugular. I like what he's doing. I'm kind of starting to lean more towards Tarap. Early on, I was leaning Gabriel, but it's a thing that if we face Port, whichever one we have, I'm happy as long as Weigel's there because I feel both of them have that attacking mindset, and we're getting exposed a lot of times. Um, I think the penalty was legit, busy, well done. And then when Famalicao kind of did the opposite in their attacking, that duo that I'm picking on a little bit because they're more offensive minded and they've been used to playing with someone that's covering them. Neither were covering. They broke away and he had Farrow kind of running out to the midfield, and he did like a more aggressive attempt to get the ball, missed. Kind of all of a sudden split the defense a little bit. Ruben Diaz tried to go for it, he missed, and then they went and got the goal, right? So I kind of felt both Farrow, and this is going into the second half, both Farrow and Ruben Diaz weren't at their finest. I think it's because they're kind of missing that defensive mid to help them out a bit.
Yeah, you're right. I think, and I said on my notes, I put in my notes that Tarap. I mean, he's as great as he's single. Like he's great in moments.
Yes,
He does
yes.
things in moments where you say, "Holy shit, that's Tarap." But going back to what you just said on the first goal, go back and look at the player who gets beat first. Okay, it's the whole midfield. Granted, Gabriel.
Yeah.
But he's coming over late. But Tarap goes for a play. He gets beat, and he didn't attack it like I wanted him to. He didn't attack it like I wanted him to, and that left another chance, another goal, go straight down the middle. How he dribbled that far in is unexcusable. It's inexcusable to me. It's inexcusable. There's no fucking way that a player from Famalicao or any player like this should be dribbling that many yards into the fucking box.
Into the box and deacon out defenders. And one thing I felt today that what a lot of guys, including Farrow and Diaz and Tarap, that there was moments where Famalicao players running towards them, and they like would lunge to the ball to try to get the ball, but they're like fully committing, and all the Famalicao guy had to do is like tap it left or right and kind of, just whatever. Oh, you're charging at me. If I can just tap it one way or another, I got momentum forward. You got momentum throughout. And so many times our guys would go and they whoop, see you later, and they keep running. And all of a sudden it'd be this mad scramble. I'm like, guys, hold your ground. You're talented. You can if you just shuffle. I don't know what it was. It felt like they had to it was almost like they're all doing the Tarat way of trying to get the ball, which is just throw your body, and it only works every so often, right? You either get it or you don't get it, right? I thought Tarat had a good game, but yeah, it wasn't a great game because there's times where I remember there's a few times where he did a bad pass and it got intercepted, and there was a counter and it created a dangerous situation for us.
A lot of dangerous situations because you got to also remember that Grimaldo and Almeida are playing, 20 yards higher than normal, left and right backs.
Yeah.
Right. I thought, and I looked at the numbers that you put up there. I thought Grimaldo had a horrible fucking game today. I thought that he was getting beat. I mean, offensively, it's easy to say, what are you talking about? Grimaldo played great. But that's not what his position is a left back. You know what I mean? He should be able to defend. And today I thought he just gave up so much. I mean, there was a play, that second goal, there was nobody over there. I mean, there was literally not one player over there. And that's Grimaldo's spot. You know what I mean? Like if we go back and watch it, and I watched the highlights a couple times. I mean, they were just lazy play. I don't know how we got a 7 because he offers so much on the offensive side, but that second goal was completely the whole left side of the field got beat. There was nobody over there.
Yeah, and then when I look at, it's nice to look at SofaScore just to get the counterbalance, and it seems like they also kind of gave him one of the higher ratings. I think it was just he had a lot of touches on the ball and a very high accuracy percentage. I think that's from a statistics standpoint helped him out a bit. But yeah, it wasn't like anything to write home about. I felt Gabriel was a little bit better than Trapp today, but at the same time, like I think they're both good, not great, not horrible. I think if you had a Weigl next to either of them, I think both would have had a better game. I think that's just it. On the offense, I gotta just throw Spreaders under the bus, man. Here's your opportunity, man. We now signed another striker as the guy that can sub in and be the backup. You had a couple, hot and cold kind of opportunities. Here's your starting. Can you kind of justify your position on the team? And he didn't, man. I felt he was very lazy today. He was very kind of moping about, sloppy passes. A few moments he seemed like he'd wake up, and then he'd go back to sleep. And the difference really was, I'm kind of glad that Bruno Lage did this, but things weren't going well, and he did 2 major substitutions, Rafa and Vinicius. And all of a sudden you felt the pace kind of pick up on the offense. Like all of a sudden it felt dangerous again. Like it felt we could score more.
You kind of knew though that was in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
Makes sense.
And Chiquinho again today. A couple missed opportunities, early wide shot right over the bar. I mean, I just
both sides had a couple of wide open chances that they botched. I think Famalicao had a few they botched also, but it was
Famalicao could have had 3 goals, no problem. 4 maybe.
Yeah. I would say
Odie made a great save as well. Odie made a great save later on in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, that was one moment I loved where like he takes the shot. It's the one that deflected. I forget if it was Ruben Diaz or it deflected off someone. So Odie, he was seeing it go.
It deflected off his leg, off his thigh.
Yeah, because it looked like it was going left, and Odie was like ducking down to jump left, and he held his positioning, and last second, like, oh shit, and he popped it up. But that could have been like, it could have been one of those highlight goals where the guy's like squatting and it goes over his head, and you're like, what happened, kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no. The other thing I would just add is, only thing I was hoping for today, which didn't happen. Again, we got the game of Port on the weekend. I thought Bruno Lage would have rested either Gabriel or Tarat, whoever he wants to play against Port, and he would have played Florentino Luis. I think the game kind of got even better if he had done that because I think those 2 guys were missing that defensive midfield. So if you put someone that's that defensive midfield mindset, I would have probably gone with like play Gabriel and Florentino Luis today and maybe throw Tarat and Weigl for the Porto game because I felt last season Gabriel and Florentino Luis had a long streak where they were syncing up quite well. And I think that's one, but whatever. Outside of that, man, the substitutions, I liked them. I think Rafa and Vinicius, I think they got some rest and played the full game. They got like 40, 30 minutes in, whatever it was. And yeah, that's pretty much, I think they'll be good for the weekend. But yeah, give me your breakdown. Kind of like, what was like a few of the key moments for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think, just going back to the lineup, my initial, I thought Grimaldo should have had a seat. I thought Grimaldo and Almeida should have had a seat today. I thought the Tavares kids could have handled it. We're at home, and I get the experiment, and we're in the semifinal, and Famalicao played great today. And maybe my lineup would have got slaughtered today. Maybe my lineup would have got lost 3-0. But also my lineup would have had Rafa and Vinicius come in at the end of the game anyways, right? So we got to understand, right, really what was causing us to be terrible. You know what I mean? So, our defense was pretty terrible, right? Because that gave up 2 goals. So Grimaldo could have had a seat today. I thought Almeida could have had a seat today. I wanted to see the whole fucking back line have a seat, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, because they've looked fatigued and tired. And earlier I said I was going to touch on this. And I think, and this sounds crazy with spending, $20 million on Famalicao. And then now you just spent another $20 million on Pedrinho. And I know we're going to talk about him later. But you're building a team. You're building $20 million teams, right? $20 million player. Right, so now you have a team that's worth a lot of money, cumulative, right? I think this year, even with the signing of Weigl, I think we're going to see the Europa sacrifice a little bit. And what I say by that is, looking at what happened today, Jardel can't be counted on. He can't be counted on. He got subbed at the half. He's out. He's done. We seen Maratu come play one time. He had a tough game. A lot of people were criticizing him. It was his first game in the A squad, right? I haven't seen him since. Maybe did he play that bad? You know what I mean? Did he play that bad? I don't know. But I think the whole back line could have had a seat, honestly. I mean, this is the Taça Portugal. I get it. It's very important. It's very important to me to win this match. But at the same time, Saturday is very, very important. So I think Benfica kind of are going to be stuck in a situation where some of their priorities kind of did us dirty a little bit. Like, not just dirty, but like kind of are going to catch up to us later on. Jardel can't be counted on. Our center backs aren't playing very well. They've been giving up goals to Obj. We gave up a goal to Famalicao today. We gave up 2 goals. I mean, we played Guimarães not too long ago, and if they could score a goal, which they can't, we could have gave up a couple goals. All I'm saying is the defense hasn't been there, and I see all this. Oh, the Benfica hasn't given up a goal and this many long. But at the same time, we're playing in the Portuguese league. You're not facing premier strikers. You're not facing fucking. I don't know. Give me a premier Mbappe's of the world.
Yeah. It's not like a big club.
So,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm curious. I want to get your take on one quick thing. Sorry to cut you in, but like, I'm actually surprised. Like, again, like you said, it's a Taça game, and it's that weird Taça. It's that weird Taça opportunity where it's the only Taça game you will have where you have a second chance. It's the only one with 2 legs.
Yeah, right.
So I'm thinking. Yeah, I get the Jardel start. I'm like, whatever, fine. But even like a guy like Samatis, I feel like Samatis maybe isn't as hot, but he can play center back. But I feel like he's more informed than Jardel is, and I think he can handle Famalicao. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I kind of did like the idea of maybe resting a Ferro or a Diaz because you can't play these guys like and they work hard, right? So I'm like, I think you had to do something because I'd rather have Ferro and Diaz going hard against Porto, not against Famalicao.
And not against Famalicao, right? And you know what, Mario? What's kind of worries me is that when Ferro came in, they did go hard against Famalicao, and they still gave up they still gave up a goal. Plain and simple, the defense just isn't playing very well. And to be honest, and going back to the midfield, I like Taca, and I've said it on the show many times. I like Taca to be an impact player.
Yeah, he's good off the bench.
I can't. For me, I want to watch Taca for 30 minutes, maybe not 90. And I don't mean that in a mean way. But his Singletary moments that I was speaking of earlier count a lot more if he only does it in 30 minutes, right? If you give him 90 minutes, those Singletary moments are too much spread out. You put him in 30 minutes, you give him a defense who's reeling, who's tired, who doesn't want to chase the ball, and now you have a player who's geeking fucking everybody. Now he's playing. I mean, he's just shaking everybody out of their boots. You put him in that type of position. I think, me personally, I like Weigl and Gabriel. I think that tandem plays better. I think you get the best Gabriel when you have Weigl. I mean, me personally, because
I agree. Yeah, because you give him that ability to just, you're an offensive midfielder, do your thing.
Right, and because last year he had Samatis. He had Samatis, a true center defensive mid player, right?
Well, whether it be Samatis or whether Florentino, you had that defense. You're spot on, man. But you had that backup.
Right. And I'm not, again, like, it always sounds like if Taca you don't think Taca should be a starter, like I'm hating on him. No.
I think he's great.
No.
Again, it's one of those things where
he's great. I love Taca. I'm so glad we're gonna have him next season. I'm so glad that we can have a player like this to watch. I am. But Bruno Lage has to understand that you spent $20 million on Julian Weigl. Gabriel is a special player when you have him playing next to a Julian Weigl. And I told you he gets the best Gabriel when you got Julian Weigl out there. Servi and Pizzi. I guess you don't have anyone else to start at that position. I think Pizzi's going to need a rest. I look here at these couple weeks. We got Porto, Braga, and then we got
we actually got Porto, then midweek Famalicao again, then Braga, then Shakhtar, then weekend match, then Shakhtar again. You know what I mean? Like, so we got a gauntlet right now.
Right, and like I said earlier, you're gonna have to sacrifice something. You have a second, and you said it. We talked about this earlier. The semifinal should be one and done. That's just like I'm used to in sports. One and done, you're out. You know what I mean? Now you have a second chance to go away for Famalicao. It's not like the Famalicao fans are gonna come in and fucking rattle Benfica. It's not like, you know what I mean. And I'm not taking anything away from their fans, but I'm not gonna hear. I'm not gonna. I don't know what they say, but I'm not gonna hear Famalicao. I'm not gonna hear that all game. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hear that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hear Benfica all game. I'm gonna hear that, right? So you can go to Famalicao and win a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it should have been handled a little better. Seferovic, I get it. I get Chiquinho's got to start because you want to sit Rafa and Vinicius. I get that. But then your whole back of your team is the same except Jardel. You know what I mean? You're not.
I was actually
was
surprised like
that.
Tomas didn't start. I think Tomas to me this season has proved that I feel yes he's inexperienced, but I feel he's still great quality. Like
he
he's
could
still
have
a
did
good
what
player.
Almeida did today. Almeida had a 6.0. I bet today. I bet Tomas Tavares could have got a 6.1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it would have been a big drop off. And I honestly thought Tomas would start today just because I think that at the end of the day, Almeida has a bit more experience. It would have made sense resting him for the Porto game. That's all. Now, if Bruno Lage starts the next game and puts Tavares against Porto, I honestly don't. Right now, I kind of don't feel too panicked about that.
I couldn't.
You get worried about that, yeah.
I am worried about that because, you know, we talk a lot of shit about Almeida, and we hope, you know, we named the Chorizo of the match after Almeida, right?
Yeah.
But honestly,
true,
at this point, I need that Chorizo.
I think he's playing good. He's playing consistent. He's not playing amazing, but he's playing good. He's playing good.
Right, and I think I feel more comfortable with him in that game, and I feel more comfortable with Tomas Tavares playing today.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and the other Tavares, Nuno. I would have rather had both of them playing. You know what I mean? Honestly, and then Jardel would. I mean, but those two players at least would have made up with speed. And Gabriel, I mean, and
I think the only risk, which could have it could have gone okay or could have blown up, would have been if you had the two Tavareses, you had Jardel, Samatis, and you have four guys that haven't been playing all at once. So I think that's a risk. But hey, do you want me to? I was thinking of jumping to like a preview of the Porto game. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll do Sharice afterwards, or?
Oh, really quick. Just I want to touch on this game. Rafa. I have to say something about Rafa.
Mm-hmm.
I said it to you guys earlier. He's a monster. He's a beast, and I want to tell you why I had to say this. Remember Rafa 3 years ago. I'm gonna put 3 years ago. I put in that frame. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't score. He couldn't hit the side of a barn. I mean, the fucking guy couldn't. I mean, he wasn't reliable. He was Seferovic before Seferovic even got here. You know, kind of.
Yeah.
Right? He would miss sitters. Look at the way he's finishing his goals lately. Look at the quality of finishes that he's been putting in. The 2 goals that he scored, the goal that he scored a couple weeks ago, where he comes back with his right foot, buries it with his left. He comes out, I mean, with the outside of his foot against Sporting. He fucking today, another one where he fucking comes and he's Johnny on the spot, but it's the way he finished it.
And he hustles and he just
it's the way, and he's just there. It's the way. Like, look at the way. And this scares me because I think next year a team from the Premier League, a team from the Premier League is going to come and knock on Benfica's door and offer Bruno Fernandes money for this guy. And what I mean by that is at least worth $50 million plus. Just by his pure speed and how he changes the game and his finishing ability, the way he gets his finishes, he can score those goals in any league. His goals that he gets, he can score those in any league. It's not like he's shooting through 4 or 5 defenders at once. He's creating space for himself. He's getting the ball and he's just hitting like it just one pass, pow, one pass shot. You know what I mean? And he's putting it right there. Like, I'm scared about it. I love Rafa. I think Rafa, and I've said this, and I know Pizzi's on that. I think Pizzi's our best Benfiquista. but I think Rafa is our best player. And
Yeah.
there are some times where Rafa feels like he's always chasing the game, where he's in the middle of the pitch and he's running and running and running and he's chasing and he's going back and forth. And last week he had a bad game where he commits the foul, he commits the penalty, and it results, it doesn't end well for Benfica in that moment. But Rafa, there are some times where he's always chasing the game, but it only takes, 2 minutes, a stretch of 2 minutes for Rafa to get into a good position. And
He's one of those guys where
it's crazy.
he gets the ball near the box, and you're like, "Shit, is this gonna be a goal?" Like, again, I feel like I'm picking on Seferovic, but I'm like, when I see him with the ball near the box, I'm like, maybe he'll do something, maybe not. But Rafa, when he gets it, he's gonna do something. You just know he's going. Like, he has a hunger. Like, and it's one of these things. And it's a terrible example. I'll be honest on this one, but I'm just using it as Ronaldo. He's nowhere near his level. But Ronaldo, when he first started, was not hungry for goals. He liked goals, but he was mainly a playmaker, and that was his job. And he
liked to be a winger.
A winger.
He loved to be a winger.
And that was Rafa.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Ronaldo got that taste for the goal and just was a monster. And he is the all-time monster. Rafa's nowhere near that level. But the thing is, all of a sudden, Rafa, like you said, a couple years ago, something changed where he started banging goals, and he just got this desire and hunger, and it's never quenched. And my only saving grace, I think, for him, he's going to be 27 in May. I wonder if the age might help him stay with us, because sometimes it might scare a club. They say, "Oh, he's not." If he was 24, I'd be petrified. But at the same time, I think in the Nations Cup, he did amazing for Portugal. I think right now he's doing amazing. He keeps us up. He's going to the Euro. It would not shock me if he's playing a secondary strike, because Portugal is missing that secondary support guy next to Ronaldo. If Sanchez looking at this team and he's like, you know what, that's what I can do. I can put Rafa up front with Ronaldo. Ronaldo can do whatever the hell he wants. Rafa does his thing. And if Rafa has a good Euro, has a good finish with Benfica, yeah, man, I could see it. I could see it. It's a 27-year-old that can all of a sudden, like, someone comes with a $60 million for a player that's 27 going into this following year, which will be 28. It gets. I hope we don't. I hope we keep him, man.
And real quick, Rafa is a Benfica.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
I know.
Cynthia made a funny comment there saying Rafa shirt's 27, so if he's turning 27 this year, he's going for a golden year. Could be. That's how magic works.
We can call him Blanche. He said Rafa's Benfica. What I meant is that Pizzi is he's the leader of
He's captain material. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've gotten better with Almeida having the armband.
He maestros it, and today he got a couple good plays today. Yeah. He got a couple good plays today. He great plays. He almost scored a goal. But I think what I meant to say was I don't want to not bring up Pizzi if I'm gonna say Rafa is the best player. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna say Rafa is the best player, I have to bring up Pizzi in some
Well, they're Batman and Robin.
Known.
They're like a dynamic duo. It's I think when you got both them on the team, they're both playing the violin.
Share the cowl sometimes. Yeah, the cowl is shared. The Batman cowl, the mantle, it gets passed between each other. And I think having him back on the pitch with Pizzi, I think we forget how much fun they were having in the beginning of the year together. This team, man, it can do good. I think we gotta manage this back line a little better. I think we gotta manage this back line a little better. I think one of them kids. We're all worried about strikers, and I think what we really need to worry about, we're worried about Diego Souza, who's going to be our third striker. Seferovic sucks. Yeah, I get it, but we can't give up goals. We can't give up goals the way we've been giving it up. And Porto, they're gonna see what they've been doing to us. They're gonna see what's been going on, what kind of goals we've been given, and they're gonna expose that kind of weakness. You know what I mean? We got to get together, and other European teams are too. Shakhtar's coming off from a break, but they're gonna attack those weaknesses, and Benfica's got to step it up. We need find some rest for these players somewhere, somehow. It has to.
So, man, let's quickly segue to the Port game. I just want to kind of highlight a little bit of history for people looking. So, I basically took we're in 2020. I went back to 2016 and kind of last series of games. And if we go backwards in time, Porto won earlier this season, 2-0 at the Luge. Last year we won 2-1 away at the Dragão with Lage, so we got the win away at the Dragão last time with him. Then it goes further back. Taça da Liga, Porto beat us 3-1 last year, I think it was, or January. That was this year. Actually. Shit, yeah. Was it this year? No, it's January last year. Sorry, that's why I got confused for a second. We didn't get knocked up with them. Then got back to our Liga. We won, then Porto won, then draw. So really, right now, it's like it's been tit for tat on the wins, and then a series of draws. Like it's pretty much. I'm feeling confident about Benfica. I think we're better than Port. We're kind of saying, hey, we have to really grind out a result against Famalicao. Famalicao, again, like we said, top 4, top 5 team, competitive team. It's an all or nothing. Like, this is their big shot to make it to the Taça final. They're having a golden year, an amazing year. And then there's Port facing Viseu. You know, the Viseu, their city's known for the Ice Palace. They have a big mall with an ice rink on the top. And it's like a small little town, small little club, second division side. And Port really, the stats on their game, they barely got off any shots. They were struggling. Porto have been struggling the last, like we complained about some of the goals we conceded. They're just like 3 times higher the volume goals they're conceding. So if there's a time to face Port, that's right now. They're really at a crossroad. So what I want to get from you, Alex, and I'm just going to put this up for everyone to see, man. We got to get the BA90's keys to the game. So what do you think? Going into this weekend, what do you think are like the top 3 keys for us to have success?
That's awesome. I think we're gonna do this forever now.
I
think this is a segment. Yeah, this segment. This has to be an ending segment. I love it, Mario. That's awesome. 3 keys to the game. Well, I'm gonna have to go off top. The defense. Our defense has to show up, right? Our defense is gonna have to step it up. Ferru and Ruben Diaz are gonna have to lock it up. And you know what? To be honest, and it sounds a little weird, but I have confidence that they are gonna lock it up because this kind of game. You get your blood flowing. It gets my blood flowing, and I ain't even playing in the goddamn game, Mario. I won't play at all that day. I'm not playing any soccer that day whatsoever. But I'm pumped. You know what I mean? So I can just imagine how they're gonna be feeling. So the defense, first and foremost, they got to lock it up. We can't give up easy goals to the Avs. You know, because against a team like Porto, you give up 1 goal early. You know that you're chasing the whole fucking game. You know what I mean? And that never works out for us, bro. Never works out for us against Portugal. It happened last game. They scored early. We chased the whole game. They went up 2. It fucked us really. So the defense got to lock it up. Ruben and Ferru, they gotta get this shit together. My second key to the game is our midfield. Who's it gonna be? You know what I mean? Yes. Is it gonna be Weigl? Is it gonna be Gabriel? Who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Taca and Gabriel? What kind of offense? Because to me, a soccer team is dictated by your midfield play, and that's just me. That's just how I watch soccer. I love midfielders. My favorite players are, you know what I mean, or a lot of my favorite players are midfielders. I just love the being able to control a game, having the ball most of the time in the middle of the pitch, dictating where things go, offensive and defensively. You know what I mean? So I think Weigl and Gabriel, to me, that's my best midfield. To me. That's my best midfield. You get the best Gabriel. You get the best Julian Weigl. I hope Weigel's fit for the game. But the midfield, it goes up. You know what I mean? And my second one is my last key. This is my third key. My last one would be, I think, Peasy. I think Peasy is going to be my third key to the game. And the reason I say that is because he is like, when Peasy is on, like, you know, everyone's on. There aren't many games where Peasy was the only fucking guy playing because he's got just as many goals as he got assists.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So he's a beast.
He's a fucking beast, right? So it's not like he's out there fucking playing by himself. You know, like he doesn't have Bruno Fernandes syndrome, you know, where he's just playing by himself and he's got all these racks, all these numbers. You know, when he's having a good game offensively, passing the ball, scoring the ball, I think Benfica's fucking, like, offensively, I want to say unstoppable, but I think we're hard to deal with. With this type of speed we got on the pitch, with Servi, Rafa, you know what I mean? Vinicius is a fucking beast. You know, we're not as smooth as you think we are. We're a lot faster. And I think Peasy, for me, if we can get Porto, like, I don't want to say on the counter, because that means that we're playing back the whole time. I know we're in the dragão. I don't want to say let's beat them on the counter. I think that midfield, that defense, they need to go slap Porto in the mouth. You know what I mean? Everyone's saying Porto's playing bad. Porto's down. This is the perfect time to play him. If this is the perfect time to play him, I think it's finally time for Benfica to slap Porto in the mouth and have one of those games where it wasn't close.
Ooh, it just cut off slightly. I do apologize. Give us one quick second. We'll get that going.
Behind,
There we
and,
go.
and you know, a Rafa goal at the end with a cheeky fucking goal from Porto in the front. Like, we're not gonna have I don't want to chase the game the whole time. I think if this is the time to play Porto, Benfica needs to take advantage of it. You know, do something that we don't normally see Benfica do. Take your foot and plant it like firmly on this league. Like, fuck Porto all together. Put like firmly on this league, this whole league, and say, just done. I'm gonna put them out of their misery. We're gonna go up 10 points, and this league is ours. And we're gonna coast through the Europa. We're gonna get all the rest that I want. All the rest I want will come against Braga. If we beat Porto, play Tavares.
Yeah, we're gonna get it, man.
You know what I mean? This is, you know, play Tavares against Braga. Play, you know, get that rest there. Because if that's what's gonna happen, when shit, the whole first segment didn't mean fucking anything. Because if that's what's gonna happen on Saturday, then I can afford. I don't care. You know, I'm up 10 points. I can go against Braga.
You can relax. You can relax.
I'm not saying don't win. I'm not saying I don't care if we win or not. All I'm saying is
you can actually. You know what? My hope, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Wrap it up.
You have that 10-point buffer. You can go and rotate and rest some guys, and to allow yourself to focus on Europa. Because we talk about focusing. I want them to focus on Europe, and if it means you play some guys against Rafa that are maybe, I get worried about Ruben. But if we get surprised by Braga and we lose, it's not the end of the world. And if it means that we're more rested for Europa and we advance in Europa, I think once we're past this period, it gets easier. Yes, we'll have Europa, but we're not fit. We're down with Port. We're done with Braga. Those are the top two toughest teams right now in our league, and you kind of now get back into a rhythm where you can focus a bit more in Europe. So that's my take. Keys to the game. Keys to the game on my side. I'm gonna just copy real quickly what you said. Center backs, they gotta click, man. These guys, when they click, to me, they're the future of Portugal, future of Seleção. That you see this bright future for Benfica. But when they're not clicking, you're like, man, these are kids. They're still young. They're still rookies, and you feel it, right? So if they click, I'm happy. A little nervous because lately they haven't been as polished.
Hey, do you think it's clicking though, or do you think
I think it's tired, lack of rest. I also think, I'll be honest, man, and we've seen this with a lot of other positions on this team. We've seen it time and time again. When you don't have competition, it breeds complacency. Like when Ruben Diaz and Ferro are tired and they're choosing, you know, man, I don't know if I can work any harder. And they look at the bench, fuck. I know that schmuck Chardell's not going to replace me anytime soon. You know what I mean? They're probably after this game. It's like, that wasn't a good game. Fuck, you see Chardell, he can't even last 45 minutes. So we're cushy. So that's where, and I think Tarapt and Gabriel, and I think like, I look at these guys, they get better because of competition, right? They get better because they got options. So yeah, I agree with you on the center back. I agree on the midfield. I'll take a slightly little different twist on the midfield. I heard this news today that Peter Parker made a comment, and I responded back. Respiratory illness is what they said about Weigl. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. You know, I get, you know.
Probably got a cold. He's probably got a cold.
I just hope it's nothing that warrants him not being in the game. So my key to the game.
Right, Diego Souza did not give Julian Weigl the coronavirus. All right, guys.
It's happening. It's over. Red alert, man. Red alert.
It didn't happen. No way.
No.
Besides, he's German anyway. There's no way.
He's German. He's talking against the jobs because he's a German.
Oh, exactly. German. He's already in German.
Anyways, key to the game, man. It's all BS. And Weigl shows up 110%. He's got himself some nice needed rest, a few days off. The sniffles are gone. And I'd be honest, I'm not going to be over fussed. I kind of lean towards you. Start with a Gabriel, bring on Tarapt as a super sub. But I think, you know, though that linking position will be good, man.
Yeah, because honestly, like, we're a deep fucking team, right? You got Benfica playing a game. We're up 1-0, something like that, you know, in a close, tough fought game. I'm saying we're gonna smack them, and I'll say that later. But and then you bring that up. Like, who the fuck does Porto have that is gonna go with Danilo's gonna fucking? He's gonna all of a sudden, you know, be 10 years younger. Like, no fucking way. You know what I mean? Like, you bring in Tarap like that,
Yeah.
forget it.
And then the last thing I'd say, I know you went with Pizzi, and not that I disagree. I think that's a great point. I'm gonna say right now, the key to the game is Rafa just keeps right. Rafa came back from injury, like he was killing it before, but he's come back with such a ferocity that you bring that level of pace, that level of aggression, you get in their face, and if you got Vinicius next to you, I hope that the way Porto are playing, like we complain about how shaky we've been here and there. Porto is far more shaky, far more rattled. And if we get in their face and you got Rafa one shot after another shot, and if we're not, we didn't talk earlier in the game. There's one part where Vinicius hustled back to get the ball. You know what I mean? You got that aggression up front, just driving this
Oh.
like this hunger. I think to me that's what can get Porto.
Hey, that I know they called it offsides, but
Yeah.
I thought like at first, remember that play Famalicao,
Mhm.
that player, he comes fucking out of nowhere.
Yeah,
He comes out of nowhere and fucking knocks the ball out right before I realized like it was offsides. Right? I was like, I'm thinking like I just watched one of the like plays of the year. Like
exactly.
this fucking guy
Looks sick.
came out of no. I mean, he still did it. I mean,
Yeah.
he still didn't let the ball go in. But holy shit, I was a little worried there for a second. I was like, oh my god, there was our chance. You know what I mean? There was our chance to go ahead. And what a header! What a header by Gabriel. Bro.
Oh, what a finish, man! We barely even touched. That was what an amazing finish.
Yeah, what a fucking just dagger. That's that Mamba mentality. It ain't over till it's over. You rest at the end and not in the middle, baby. That's the Mamba mentality. You rest at the end and not in the middle.
And it was like one of these things where it's like such a battle. We get that goal, dying seconds. It shows from Famalicao, and one guy just gets on his knees, starts punching the ground like fuck's sakes. We just like they knew it was done. Cynthia pointed out to me, yo, check out their bench, and you see that because I watched the replay of the game because I worked. So I also when it goes to the bench, you see like a Famalicao standing there, and he says like you can't hear him, but you see his lips is feel the puta, like he's just like what the fuck. But it was just perfect. So you know what, that to me, that kind of wraps up our first segment of the keys to the game, I think, man. So you know what, I think people
Awesome.
they like this. Well, you'll see more of this in the future. I like the idea of it. I think I might keep the same graphic. Let's go into the Chorizo the match. Play the match.
Let's do it.
I can quickly jump in. Real quickly to me, Chorizo is Seth. We got another option now as a backup striker. It's not an exciting option, to be honest. I'm not like jumping over the moon for him. But I thought today was a good opportunity for Seth to kind of say, no, I'm that other guy. And he kind of botched it. But there's a lot of the Chorizo. He could have picked Jardel. I could have picked on. To me, it wasn't like there's a lot of people I could have picked on. I could have picked on the center backs. There's a lot of Chorizo today. But I'll just throw it on him. The other one I would say is player of the match was Rafa coming off the bench. How aggressive he was. I was toddling between him and Vinicius, but I just felt like Rafa at the end of the day, he just was that quick response that got the goal. It was that hunger. It just built up that excitement. So I'm giving it to him. And the play of the match to me was that kind of a very short play, but all of a sudden they're attacking. We talked about it earlier. That shot they take, it's going left. Odie gets in position to jump left, and it deflects off Ruben Diaz. And, like, it's a millisecond. He barely gets it. It kind of looks funny because he's crouching, but he was about to jump, and he just was – that to me is a goalkeeper that's watching the ball to the very last second before he commits, and he stopped, and he got it. That could have changed the game right there. Because I think it was still 2-2 at that point. It would have been the reverse result, right? So that's my three situations, buddy. What about you?
My Chorizo of the match has to be Jardel. I mean, you get subbed out at halftime because you're not playing well. I mean, clearly he's the Chorizo. Sefedovic could have got it easy, but I mean, Jardel's supposed to be that guy too. We all talk about Sefedovic should solidify. We needed somebody to solidify on the defense as well. Who's going to step up at center back? Is going to be it's not Jardel now. So now we're fucking reeling. I mean, now we don't know. I as a Benfica fan, who enjoys also the defensive side of the ball. Everything can't be a fucking goal. You know what I mean? But I like to see a good defender. I love Ruben Diaz. I think he's a beast. He gives up a lot. He's aggressive. People complain about it, but not me. I love it. That's just me. I like that type of play, and I think Benfica need to get it together. Jardel, he dropped the fucking ball today, and he got subbed out at halftime. So. You never see that. You never
Yeah.
waste the sub on a,
A
'cause what if it
center
didn't
back
work?
at half.
What? Yeah, right. Because check this out, right? So what if you did that and then you brought in Vinicius and Rafa and it still didn't mean anything? You know what I mean? Now you go back to 45 minutes ago and you're thinking like, what the fuck? You wasted a substitute on Jardel. So he's my player of the match. Ah, man, it's easy to say Rafa. I want to say, to me, the player of the match was Gabriel. I know it seemed a little, sometimes you don't really watch Gabriel, but he sets this kind of tone for me. I think there are plays where he sets tones at certain points in the game where he's kind of he stops. Sometimes he gets to stop the flow and he turns it around. Nice pass, and he never gives up. He's an aggressive player. I just thought he did a lot today. I mean, I can't really pick one other play than my play of the match, which is his goal. I think to end it that way, basically a buzzer beater. In soccer, you can't get it much closer than 45 fucking seconds left to the game, and he puts a header on the ball. He just bodied his way in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and he hustled all game, man. And
And he
it's always-
hustled all game,
yeah.
right? And that's what I was gonna say. He bodied himself in, just like he bodied everybody on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like there are times where, he's gonna get that yellow. I think he got a yellow today, didn't he? Didn't he get a yellow?
You got a yellow. Actually, we didn't even touch on the ref. No, it wasn't. I don't think it was him. I think he got a warning. It was Diaz, and it was who else?
Grimaldo.
Grimaldo. And I gotta say, that
Grimaldo
referee
was
allowed some nasty tackles against us, and it was like Famalicao kept getting warnings, but they weren't getting any cards. And you know what? A different ref would have gotten multiple yellows and possibly a red for accumulation at some point. But whatever, it is what it is.
I think
that threw us off.
Gabriel's goal, man. I think Gabriel's goal to play the game is because it was such a shot. Like it was such a fucking like a bomba. Boom! Like he got all of it. Like the whole ball, just like he put his whole fucking face into it. He just fucking boom. And you heard that shit. That's my favorite sound. It's when I'm playing basketball and I hit a swish, you hit that. But on soccer, it's when you can hear that ball hit that net and it rolls down the whole net. And you hear just like, and that's what I heard winning. It just said winning, and it was amazing. I thought today's game was awesome. I mean, I like to be pushed sometimes. I like to have faults in the game. I like to point out things that we need to work on, and Benfica need things to work on. You know what I mean? Like you can't be perfect every game. These are the kind of games where you get to identify problems, identify issues. You got to bring a kid up. Somebody's gonna have to step it up. Other players look at it and say, "Yo, maybe this is my time. This is my turn to be good." So, you can't win them. All 5-0, 10-0. Everybody ain't national. But I thought today was just indicative of what Benfica's been doing, figuring it out. There's something to be said about a team who doesn't really, sometimes we don't play the best soccer in stretches and we give up stupid plays, but like figuring out a way to win the game, these types of situations will do good later on, like when you're in Europa and you're playing a game and you're maybe down one or you're tied, you know what I mean? And there's 2 minutes left, 3 minutes left, and you can look at each other and say, yo, we've been here before. We've been here before. We know how to do this. We know how to win this game, and that's what I appreciate about today. You came back 2-1 and gave up bad goals, and be honest, maybe Benfica had no business winning the game. Maybe we didn't. Maybe our defensive mistakes were that bad. You know what I mean? That maybe we shouldn't have won the game. I don't fucking know, but I know we did, and I watched the game, and I saw a team who can figure it out. Bruno Lage, just something about him. Like I don't know, he's special coach, and I only think he can get better. That's what's pretty cool about it. So I'm really happy with today's result. 3-2 first leg at home. They got 2 goals. You can't fuck around really, I guess, and away. But hey, Benfica won, and that's really all that matters to me.
Yeah, you know what? Just a quick last bit of comments. We're kind of going through some of the comments here. We're kind of in that critical stage where, man, we'll get into Porto next. We beat Porto, 10-point gap. we grind it against Famalicao to get to that final of Taca, to get that out of the way, because then that's at the end of the year. And it's, man, Ruben Amorim, I got nothing but love for the guy because he's diehard Benfica. He is. I am so impressed with what he's doing at Braga. So I almost get a little bit more nervous with Braga than I do Port. But if we get those results, we get that result against Port and Braga. The Kevin says he's worried about our defense for Europa League, and I kind of agree with them. But I would be fully go for it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can I say something about Ruben Amorim one more time? One thing.
Yeah, man.
Benfica, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Stop it.
I love him. I love him.
I get it.
I love him.
Here it is. Here's what bothers me. And that it's about like let Braga be Braga. If they're doing good, let it be about Braga. Ruben Amorim is not a good coach because he played for Benfica. Okay, there's no.
In my world, the only time he's good is because of us.
I get it. But I'm saying he's not a good head coach because he played for Benfica. Like, there's no correlation. Like, let Braga fucking have Ruben Amorim. Let him have him. We had him. Let him have him as a coach. Let him have their shine. Whatever Braga does doesn't mean that we did it because Ruben Amorim is on the fucking Braga. For me, fuck Braga, fuck the coach. I mean, come that game, I'm gonna be sitting here in my mind. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I'm like, yo, fuck Ruben Amorim. And
no. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Like, no offense, but like,
all I'm saying is
it's always Benfica first.
Like Benfica is like sometimes Benfica fans like stop making it about y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with Benfica. The Braga has nothing to do with Benfica.
I would say
career has nothing to do with Benfica. I like they open your legs. They open their legs. I like that shit. I love that shit. I don't want any more excuses when we beat that ass that Braga opens their legs because Ruben Amorim fucking let us beat their ass.
I don't give a shit about what they say on that.
You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna say to me,
it bothers me a little bit. And I'm getting hypey about it, and I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, sometimes Benfica is
here's my look.
Let
me give you my quick take on it, and it's not even like a Ruben Amorim thing. It's more of Benfica asserting its dominance in every aspect of the game in Portugal. And if I go back a few years back, so think of, I'm going to pick on Ruben Amorim when he was a player at Benfica during Jorge Jesus' time. You looked at Liga NOS, Liga Portugal. You looked at the coaches across the league. Jorge Jesus was Sportingista. Tons of guys were Sportingistas. Tons of guys were Portistas. There is barely not one coach in Portugal at any club. There's a few of them that were almost all, and partly it had to do that in the 90s, like from mid 90s till like
we
were shit, and we had nothing going for us. We didn't have nothing returning, and yet you had like Porto and Sporting producing all these guys, and then you started seeing all these guys now, like a decade later, showing up as managers and showing up as this, and it was one of these things that it kind of, and to me, it's like, you know what, this is like the boom and echo. That boom was the beginning of us breaking out of that bubble, and this is now the echo where we dominate the league. And there's like this feeling across, like, oh, there's Benfica reject guys that are players that didn't make it on our team that wish they could have made it, but they play on other clubs in Portugal. There's guys that played for us that are becoming manager. You got Petit, you got Ruben, you got other guys, and you see that more. And to me, it's more of these things. I know it irks Sportingistas and Portistas to kind of see right now the best club in Portugal, the best manager, Lage. You know who's the second best manager right now? Ruben Amorim. It's like a 1 and 2. Next thing you know, there'll be a new manager comes along that's a Benfica. He'll be the third best manager, and it starts kind of being this thing that it starts like it. It's pissing them off so much. When it's Benfica versus Braga, I want to smoke them, but it's just more of like a sense of pride that shit is all every level. It's all clicking, right? It's that whole idea that it's the octopus.
All I'm saying, though, Mario, is like when that happens, and I get you.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. But when that happens, it feels like
we're taking something away from them. I agree with what you're saying. It's kind because I see
taking away for what they're doing. They're gonna take over third. I know it.
I guarantee it. Sporting's in a free fall right now.
Right, and and there's gonna be Benfica. She's gonna be like, yeah, because I'm not rooting for Benfica. Shut the fuck up. It's not even fucking has nothing to do.
But you know, this is the dick in me. You know this. You see Sportingistas. But think of this. The Sporting guys hate us so much that they're sitting there and going, "Oh, Braga was shit," because they started kind of shit this year in the league, right? They were like 7th or 8th for a while, and Ruben comes on, so Benfica shows up.
He only won 3 games. He
No,
only
he's
won 2 league games.
no, he's like 7 games, 8 games in now.
Oh, is he? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I see. That's how much I just.
He broke
It's
the record.
about-
I'll say he pulled a Lage. He broke the record for the most goals that Braga scored in a league game. He did like 7 goals in a game. His first second game.
Let me guess. That's because he played for Benfica.
Exactly. You're
Okay.
getting it, Alex. You're getting it. No, but to
Oh,
me,
man.
what I find funny is here's Sporting going downwards, and it's Ruben, and all the Benfica are like, "Hey, it's our old boy. Hey, Sporting." Isn't it funny how the old Benfica guy showed up and he's like just to you guys?
Hey, Kevin in the in the chat says, "How about that goal?"
Say no
Pedro
homo.
Gonçalves today?
Sorry, I missed it.
Is the second? Was that the first one? That was the first one, right?
I think that there's.
And what about the Diogo? What you think about the old Benfica? The Diogo Gonçalves? What do you think about his play today? That was pretty funny. Just real quick before we start wrapping
I think
it
it
up.
was well done. I think okay. So the first one, assistant was no, it was Pont. I'm trying to see who scored the second one. I think it was the goal. What the fuck is the goal? Was it Diogo Gonçalves was the first goal, right? I think
Diogo,
it was.
no, it wasn't Diogo.
No, he assisted.
Diogo,
He assisted that goal. Yeah, he assisted it.
that goal.
Yeah, I think they played well.
It wasn't an assist. That guy took the fucking ball. He took it in his hands and he just dribbled past the whole defense.
I gotta say, man, I gotta give props for Famalicao. Again, a team that got promoted this year. The fact they're in the semifinals, going toe to toe with Benfica and giving us a run for our money. The fact that they're in the running for 3rd place. You know what I mean? Like that. That's a Cinderella story. I love that. I like seeing that.
But it's not, and you're right. I do too. But I like seeing it for Braga. I like seeing, and this is why. I mean, because I don't want. I want this. I want it to feel like it's us against the fucking world. We're not
I see. Yeah.
friends. You know what I mean? We're not fucking friends. I don't like Braga. I don't like. I don't like Sporting. We're not fucking friends. On game day, we're not friends. During the week, we can be cordial. We can agree. But
I take pride on the growth.
But here, check this out. This is why it's hard to be friends with Sporting fans and Porto fans, because no matter how nice you are to each other, they're always thinking in the back of their head, "No, fuck this guy. This guy fucking likes Benfica. Fuck Benfica. Fuck Benfica. Caralho." It's in there. It's and it. That's why it's hard to take them serious when they're being nice to me. I'm like, you're just.
I'll say this. I'm a person that so I kind of sound hypocritical.
Against the world.
I like being against the world. I want Benfica to win everything. I also want our league to become a little bit more exciting, more interesting. So to me,
and I don't want that because Ruben Amorim played for Benfica.
Yeah.
I don't want it to say.
I get what you're saying.
You guys, what I mean? Like, I don't want no favors. Don't make it look like you're doing us any fucking favors and shit. We're winning because we're winning. Benfica's winning because Benfica's good.
Yeah.
But Braga is playing. The Braga has good players. They're not. It's not just Ruben Amorim. They could have probably put any fucking monkey in that place right now, and they would have played some good games. They have some quality players.
I'm going to say I got to give props where it's due. I got to give props where I think the club's well run.
Quality.
I think well run. I think that deal they did with Barcelona, very impressive. I think they're making plays like a few years ago. What would have happened is either Benfica, Sporting, or Porto would have paid Braga 10 million. We would have got that guy, would have played him, and we would have flipped him for 30 million. Not Braga directly deal. The fact that Braga is starting to deal directly with Barcelona and they're starting to have these conversations, and if they can kind of come in third and get that third Champions League spot and do well, there is success breeds success. Famalicao, it's Kevin said in the comments, it's Mendes' project. That's his Wolves in Portugal. Like, it's his first year playing with it. He started playing with Wolves in the championship, and then he kind of saw this build up to happen. He's doing the same thing in Portugal. It's the first year. If he keeps playing around with these guys, Famalicao could be something that's not just a one-season Cinderella story, but it could be something we see next year. And there's rumors, and these are just pure Twitter rumors, but
we're gonna see them because they're not getting relegated.
Yeah, oh no, God no, they're not. But I think it's a case that it's not just going to be a one-season hit. I think he's going to keep playing with it, where they're going to try to build something with it. And the rumor mill is that Red Bull, which likes to have a club in every single league in the world, they got it in MLS, they got it in Austria, Germany, they got it. God, they got it everywhere, man. Red Bull teams are in every single league. They supposedly were kicking the tires at Aves or some other club of saying, what if we came with some money in Portugal because it's not going to take that much to make a competitive team here. So I like that idea. I like the
Yeah, but
idea
in
of some variety.
Portugal, but they're gonna find out in Portugal. It's hard to even give away €3 tickets.
Yeah.
For
I
Ouch.
want.
You
You
know,
know
they're
what?
gonna
No,
figure out. They're gonna figure
I'll
out that
say
they're
this
just
much.
the Benfica fans, anyways.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's tough.
they'll. I feel Portuguese fans being a bit of are very finicky and very much bandwagony. If there is like Famalicao right now, if you look at their stands, they're selling their games out. They got full stands because they're bandwagony right now. I think any team that starts having some of that momentum, I would say if there's a guy with money in deep pockets, I honestly think the biggest opportunity in Portugal, you go down south to Algarve. Because basically, you look at Portugal halfway in the country, there's Lisbon. That's Benfica territory. You got some sporting there. Then you got the river. Across the river is Setúbal, which, it's an older team, whatever. And then there's this massive gap of country that has no representation. You got Porto Manej, but they're not really that competitive. They're kind of floating there. Grab a club down in the south, make them big, and you got the entire Algarve region, and you got the middle part. You could do something. I don't know. I want to see our league be more competitive, and I want to see
Me
us.
too.
And I want to see us win a more competitive league.
I do too. I want to see it too. And I don't want it to be because Ruben Amorim. You know what I'm going.
I see where you're. No, I get you, man. I get you.
That's all I mean. Because these fucking guys, and not that I care what they say, but fuck these guys.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's Benfica or bust, man. It's Benfica or nada.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about nobody else. I mean, yes, let's have it. I want it, but competitive. But at the same time, people say, I hear always sometimes people say, it'd be nice if one of these other teams won the league. No, fuck that. I don't know. I don't want nobody to win the fucking league.
No, I always want Benfica to win.
Let Braga fans say,
yeah,
I can't wait for Braga. Benfica fans, I don't give a shit. We win because there's still something we haven't done, and I want to watch it in my life. You got to get it. Yeah, you got to get it.
I want to see something else.
I don't want to win them all.
I want to see I want to see us do one more because the record is 5. 5 is what Port's got. We got that. We want a penta, and I want us to get the penta and then do the 6. I don't even know what the proper name is.
But anyways,
wrap it up.
You want to? What's the prediction? What's your prediction for Saturday? They changed it.
Okay, everyone's predictions here, man. Okay, so mine. I'm confident. I think we're doing the right things. I'm gonna say it's gonna be another 3-2. Another 3-2. That's my prediction.
First, real quick, I just want to Peter Parker. No, I wasn't happy the AFC West winning the Super Bowl. Because Chiefs fans aren't like, hey Raiders, like you want to share this Super Bowl with us? It's not how it works. I actually hate the Chiefs. You know what I mean? I don't like the Niners. It was such a crazy Super Bowl because I don't like the Niners either. I'm a Raider fan. They don't like us. We don't fucking like them. Oakland, San Francisco. We just don't fucking like each other. And I hate the Chiefs. I grew up my whole life hating the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs. It's just that they're the Sporting, they're the Porto for the Raiders. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So I just always grew up hating them. So it was hard for me to really pick. But I told my friends, I told my buddies, I said, look, I ain't rooting for the Niners, but I don't want the fucking Chiefs to win the goddamn Super Bowl. And what did they do? They won the Super Bowl. So I can't ever rely on the 49ers to ever do a Raider fan a favor. So just remember that. I will always remember. I was like, I just need y'all to do me one favor. Just win the Super Bowl. And I'm asking y'all to just win the Super Bowl so I ain't got to see these motherfuckers win it. And then you let us down, fools. But my prediction, I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's no way. 32 is crazy to me. That's caray. Kevin says 1-1. Ah, man. Yeah. I'm gonna say Benfica going to Dragão and win 3-0. That's what we're gonna happen. We're gonna win 3-0. We're not gonna give up any goals. No goals. But Ruben Diaz, there's gonna be blood everywhere. I'm telling you, 3 goals. Blood everywhere. Red everywhere. Fly, Emirates, fly, baby.
Oh man.
3-0. I'm gonna want it.
I tell you, to me, the dream of going to the Dragão and just making them our
I'd get so
bitch.
drunk. I'd get so drunk. I'd get so
Oh,
drunk that
God.
day if we won 3-0.
I'm wondering. I'm still trying to figure out. So it's 3:30 my time. It's lunchtime, like 12:30 your time out in California. People in Portugal 8:30. Big shout out, Luis. Unfortunately, time zone's fucked. Like with these weekday games because of work and we're in North
Oh,
America.
Luis is going.
We do it late. So Luis wanted to join, but it was just too late. But he's got to catch a flight very soon. He's gonna be at the game. Yeah. Oh, my 3-2 is for Benfica. I screwed up the order. Peter Parker did it right. He did the 1-2 because Benfica's the away. But yeah, Luis. So I'm dying. I'm dying to see this, man. He's trying to. I think it's tomorrow or something. Like he's like last minute getting tickets. It's so messed up.
You know what I should do? I'm gonna do on one day. I'm gonna buy. You know those big face signs?
Cynthia with the 7-0. Oh, Jesus.
You know those big face signs? I know what I want to eat. You know those big face signs you see at like basketball?
Yeah.
They're big face. I should have bought my face so Luis could bring to the game.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I was telling Luis? Because Luis right now is still trying, like, he's trying to haggle tickets, right? And so he's trying to get, obviously, with the Benfica Ultras because he can only be on the away side.
He would have brought it. A big fucking, just me, my face. I just
it's fucking hilarious, man. You do, like, the South Park one with the movie mouth. You know what I mean?
With the Rafa thumb.
Oh, oh, man, that would have been awesome.
And just set me next to him. It'd have been fun.
We should do that. We should do that. But so real quickly, so he's trying to wrangle up these tickets. There's a chance he might not get tickets on the sports side, but he might actually be able to get tickets in the middle of the stadium in the Porto side, but he can't wear any.
Yeah, go! That would be great. Go!
And I was telling him like just wear black and just pretend to be a Porto fan. And just sit there the whole time. As Benfica scoring goals, he can be like, oh, can you believe these guys? Our team is shit. Why are we so embarrassing? And just pretend he's a Porto fan the whole time, just crying. And it's like, oh, that's what going out. Our guys suck dick. We should go and beat them up after this game.
And then
just get them all riled up.
His black shirt off, and then it'll be his Benfica. Like, is he ever gonna reveal that he's a fan?
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know how violent it is. I mean, I can handle myself. I mean, I ain't the biggest dude, but I can handle myself. Like, I'm throwing the first punch. I will say that right now. Like, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Like, real quick. Don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you don't touch me, I can handle some talking. You know what I mean? But I don't like that. Don't touch me. As soon as you touch me, bam. I'm just gonna one quick one. You know, I'm gonna check you real quick, and then I'll see where you're at. Sometimes the guys are like, yeah, I'm like,
Rafa Vinicius hat tricks. Oof.
But fuck that. But I'm just saying, I would do that. Wear your shit. If you sit in the middle of them, oh my God, like I don't think.
But the thing is, you can't. You actually, they won't even let you in the stadium.
What?
Oh, they see that ticket and they go, oh, you're not with the Benfica people. You got the wrong ticket. You don't belong here. That's like, I paid for this. Oh, let me grab that. And then throw in the garbage. Oh, I don't see no ticket. Get the fuck out. That's how they are, man. They're very aggressive. They're very like. The funny thing is, and I'm a dick.
I'm gonna fight an usher
at the Stadio Luz.
Fight an usher.
But we see this: Porto versus Benfica, Benfica versus Sporting. You see the middle stands, which are more, they're not the ultra section. You'll see some girl wearing a Benfica kit, and you'll see a guy wearing a Porto kit, or a guy with his a Benficaista and his girlfriend's a Sportingista.
Well, you just cover it up.
No, but you see them. You see them. But like the thing is, like in our stadium, we're cool with it. Like, and as long as you're not in the support, you don't go near the no names. You don't go near the super the gays. You kind of leave the ends to the ends because that's the ultras. In the center, everyone calma. People want to go and watch a nice game, relax. They want to bring their kids. So just don't be stupid, man.
Y'all not in the gang. I just like it's not a gang. It's a football team. I get it. Y'all live and breathe it, but it's not a gang. Y'all not Crips and Bloods. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand it. But I got 3-0 Benfica.
So at least we're both on the same idea. 3 goals. We're at least getting 3 goals.
Wow.
All right, guys, man. I got to say a big-ass thank you to everyone. Kevin, Cynthia, Peter, Vincent, which is Martin out in Portugal. Martin will be going with Luis to the game. At least they're trying to wrangle the tickets. So Martinez actually lives on the other side of the river in Gaia of Port. So he's kind of like just outside the district of Port. Kind of like you to San Francisco. Like, you know how you live? Imagine Port San Francisco, where you live. That's where Martin lives. He's just a little bit outside of it. But
I think like the ferry. You gotta take the ferry out.
yeah, you gotta ride that ferry.
San Francisco every day. Gotta ride that ferry, baby.
you gotta ride that
take a
ferry,
boat.
baby.
I think about I'm a pirate.
You got the
I'm on the
boat.
open seas every day.
You fucked a mermaid.
I wore my Benfica scarf. Fuck, of course, I wore my Benfica scarf today.
You gotta
always.
You gotta one
Every
day get a
game
pirate
day.
hat. You gotta get a Benfica pirate hat. So when you ride the ferry, you got a Benfica pirate hat
On game days only.
on. Game days only. All right, guys, man.
All right,
see you
so
this
we'll
weekend,
see
man.
y'all
I'm hyped.
Saturday.
I'm hyped. Oh,